Diana's champagne glass slipped from her fingers and shattered on the floor, but it wasn't an accident. Her grip failed the moment she spotted Camilla Parker-Bowles on the other side of the room. Camilla wore a gold bracelet, crafted from the very anniversary cufflinks Diana cherished, and displayed it as if it were a trophy. The date was February 18, 1989, at Middlewick House, a birthday party that would change everything Diana thought she knew about her marriage. Across the room, Camilla beamed at Charles, and he returned her gaze with unmistakable warmth. In just 3 hours, Diana would come to understand the depth of the deception around her, how completely she had been misled. But the most devastating blow didn't come from anything she saw in that crowded room. Instead, it was the words Camilla whispered to her later, in the secrecy of a locked powder room, while Diana's gift still shined on her arm. Now, let's rewind 3 days. Charles walked into the breakfast nook at Kensington Palace, holding a pale envelope. Diana was busy feeding Harry, who was happily smearing jam everywhere with all the seriousness only a small child can have. William sat nearby, animated as he spun a tale about a dragon lurking under his bed. Suddenly, Charles's cough sliced through the story. William stopped talking. Charles spoke up. "We have received an invitation to Andrew Parker-Bowles' 40th birthday party this Saturday," he announced. His tone was cold and final, the sound of a man delivering a verdict, not opening a discussion. Diana's hand froze halfway, her spoon suspended as if time had slowed. Andrew Parker-Bowles, husband to Camilla. She lowered the spoon slowly and deliberately, giving herself a moment to hide her true reaction. Charles eyed her cautiously, preparing himself as if he had already imagined every possible emotional reaction. He broke the uneasy silence. "It would seem odd for us to decline," he insisted. "We've known Andrew for years, army connections. We're expected to be there." Diana remained focused and calm, gently wiping jam from Harry's face. Her composure was unshakable. "You're asking me to celebrate the birthday of the man whose wife you're having an affair with?" Her words came not as a question, but as a cold statement of fact. Charles's jaw tightened. "Diana, not in front of the children." Diana glanced at William, who had gone completely still, the way children freeze when they sense trouble but can't quite grasp what's wrong. Meanwhile, little Harry was blissfully unaware, his cheeks smeared with jam and innocence. She met Charles's gaze once more. "Of course we will attend," she said, her voice light but hollow, echoing through the kitchen. "It sounds wonderful." Charles seemed momentarily surprised by her agreement. "All right, Saturday at 8. He left quickly, eager to go before she might change her mind. Diana resumed feeding Harry. Her fingers trembled now, revealing the storm raging inside her. William, always observant and sensitive, noticed right away. "Mommy, are you sad?" he asked. She pulled him close, breathing in the unique scent of her young son, a mix of soap, grass, and everything good about childhood. "No, love, Mommy is just thinking." But inside, her mind raced. Camilla had requested Diana's presence specifically. This was never just an innocent invitation. Diana had accepted not because she was beaten down, but because she was tired of fake smiles and keeping quiet. She was done pretending, even if it meant walking right into the lion's den. The drive to Middlewick House felt like plunging into icy water. Charles gripped the wheel, his knuckles pale, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. The speedometer climbed 60, 70, 80 miles per hour, as if going faster might help them escape a confrontation they both feared to mention. Outside, the rolling fields and stone walls blurred into shadows and streaks of light. Inside the car, silence grew thicker, spreading between them like an invisible, suffocating blanket. The weight of it was so heavy, Diana could almost hear it hum. Finally, she broke through the quiet. Softly, she asked, "Does she know I'm coming?" Charles didn't look at her. "Who?" he replied, but his voice gave him away. A small, almost smile appeared on Diana's lips. "Let's not pretend tonight." His grip on the wheel tightened, so much that she wondered if it hurt him. "Diana, please, for tonight, can we not?" "Not what?" Her voice stayed calm. "Not ask about the woman you've loved since before you asked me to marry you." She studied his face, noticing how his jaw clenched with tension, the slight twitch in his cheek. "I'm not going to cause a scene, Charles," she assured him. "Tonight, I'll be the perfect princess." She promised herself she would smile, make small talk, and pretend her heart wasn't quietly breaking while Charles looked at Camilla with a tenderness he never showed her. Something in her voice must have reached him because he pulled back. For the first time, he actually flinched. "I never wished to hurt you," he murmured. Beneath the polished calm of royalty, Diana noticed a flicker of real remorse. "But you have," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "You do, every single day." There was nothing left for Charles to say. They had both already spoken the unspeakable truth without ever saying the words. He'd chosen her for her youth, for being a perfect match, for the promise that she could give him the sons his family expected. She had accepted him because she still believed, deep down, in happy endings. Together, they had been living out a fiction. Turning away, Diana fixed her gaze on her own reflection in the black glass. Quietly, she made a decision tonight would be the night her story changed. If Camilla wanted to rub Diana's nose in this cruel charade, if she wanted to flaunt the affair as some kind of twisted victory, then Diana would not run. Tonight, she would step into the spotlight on her own terms. In that moment, Diana made a decision. Camilla would come to truly understand what her prize meant. When they arrived, Andrew Parker-Bowles greeted them at the door. His cheeks were rosy, his mood buoyant, and he seemed completely unaware of the heartbreak hidden within his own walls. "Your Royal Highness," he said warmly to Diana, his handshake firm though just a little clammy. "You look absolutely radiant tonight, doesn't she, Charles?" Charles managed only a faint reply, hardly registering the words. Diana allowed Andrew to kiss her hand and lead them into the heart of the gathering. She braced herself. The curtain was up, and the show had begun. That's when she saw Camilla. A black dress hugged her figure, blonde hair pinned up with elegance, diamond earrings sparkling with every move. But what really caught Diana's eye was the gold bracelet on Camilla's wrist, once her gift to Charles, now unmistakable in its meaning. Camilla met Diana's gaze from across the room and smiled. It wasn't the polite smile society expects, but something sharper, more honest, a flash of truth behind the pretense. And then Camilla did the unthinkable. She moved through the crowd of party guests with unwavering determination. Conversations quieted as she passed, tension thick enough to taste. All eyes watched the moment unfold. "Your Royal Highness," Camilla greeted, her curtsy perfect, yet with a hint of theatrical sharpness. "I am so pleased you could join us." Diana's voice was steady, her years in the spotlight guiding her. "Mrs. Parker-Bowles, thank you for including me. You look stunning tonight," Camilla said. Diana heard the message beneath the words, "You look wonderful, and it makes no difference." Standing face to face, Diana took in every detail of the bracelet on Camilla's wrist. She recognized her own handwriting, once a symbol of belonging, now broken up, scattered across jumbled gold charms. Their anniversary, which was once a meaningful milestone, had become nothing more than a collection of fragmented digits. Even the Prince of Wales feathers, a symbol Diana had lovingly chosen, were dismantled and rebuilt, now forming an emblem that belonged entirely to Camilla. "Your bracelet is exquisite," Diana said. Her voice sounded distant to her own ear. Camilla's reply came with a smile, wide and triumphant. "Thank you. It was a gift from someone very dear to me." Camilla's words cut right through Diana. Holding herself together, Diana slipped away before emotion could crack her carefully kept facade, before trembling hands could betray her composure to the crowd eagerly watching every moment. Inside the powder room, she locked the door, searching for sanctuary at the marble sink. She met her own reflection in the mirror, her hair flawless, makeup pristine, the mask of royalty firmly in place. But beneath it all was a woman suddenly stripped of illusion. With sharp, painful clarity, Diana realized her entire marriage had been staged for just one person, Camilla. Just then, a sudden rattle at the door handle snapped her back from this revelation. She suddenly realized she hadn't actually locked the door, maybe. Deep down, some part of her had been expecting this moment all along. Camilla entered quietly, easing the door shut behind her. "Diana," she said, no titles, just her first name. That familiarity stung. "I believe it's time we speak honestly." Diana gathered all her strength, turned, and finally faced the one presence that had haunted her life, the woman whose existence seemed threaded through every hurt Diana had ever felt. Someone young enough to shape, someone meant to bear him sons, smile for the cameras, and accept life as it was, without difficult questions. That had been the requirement. Diana swallowed hard, but she had always asked questions. She had always sought answers, even when it cost her peace. Camilla's expression softened with a touch of pity as she continued. "Now you see it all for what it is. So what are we really doing here, Diana? Where is all this leading?" Camilla opened her hands, as if she was laying the truth out between them. "You've given him William and Harry, two wonderful boys. You've fulfilled your role. But trying to hold on to Charles, trying to make him feel something for you, it's honestly exhausting, even to watch." The term of endearment landed like a slap. Diana's reply was soft, almost broken. "He does not love me." She paused, then asked, her eyes searching Camilla's face, "Does he love you?" The silence that followed spoke for itself. Finally, Camilla answered, "He needs me. He needs you for heirs and a perfect family image. But need isn't the same as love, is it?" She moved closer, her voice dropping to a low, measured tone. I know exactly what he says to you because he tells me everything. Your tears, your struggles, even how being close with you feels like another duty to check off the royal list." Diana's eyes burned. The room's edges began to blur. Still, Camilla pressed on, unwavering. "He shared everything, even your wedding night. He told me how frightened you were, how unprepared. He even compared it to being with a child." Every word struck with surgical precision, cutting deeper into wounds Diana fought hard to conceal. All those moments when you were inconsolable, when despair threatened to swallow you whole, he describes those too. He calls you unstable, says you make scenes, and insists you are not suited for this world. Diana's knuckles whitened as she gripped the sink, the cold marble grounding her, just barely. Then Camilla's voice shifted, growing softer, almost gentle. "So here is my advice. Release him. Accept what your marriage truly is, a contract, nothing more. Stop fighting for something that was never really yours. In the end, you will be queen. That title will be yours. But Charles's affection, Diana, that was always mine." For a long moment, Diana didn't move. Every cruel admission struck her deeply, turning 8 years of heartbreak into one moment of shattering clarity. In that stillness, something inside her changed, freezing, hardening, becoming a kind of armor. When Diana finally met Camilla's gaze, her tears were gone, her words were cold, disturbingly calm. "You're right about one thing," she began. "Charles does not love me." For a moment, Camilla looked surprised by this confession. "But you've missed something important, Camilla, something vital." Diana stepped forward, and for the first time, Camilla instinctively took a step back. "You think all of this is about love? You think victory is yours because he confides in you, seeks you out, and depends on you?" Diana's laughter was gentle, but there was a sharp edge to it that couldn't be missed. "But I don't need Charles's love. I need his marriage, and he will remain married to me, because if he divorces me, he'd lose his claim to the crown." She watched as understanding slowly washed over Camilla's face, uneasy and gradual. "I will become Queen of England, Camilla, not just a consort, not just a princess. Queen. My image will be on the currency. My name will be written in the history books. I will stand beside Charles at his coronation while you watch it all unfold on television, just like everyone else." Diana leaned in closer, her voice no more than a whisper. "And you will always be at a distance, the other woman, the secret, the one he cannot ever claim openly, the shadow he keeps hidden from the world. You'll only have borrowed moments, whispered calls, and the lingering truth he will never risk it all for you. He wouldn't give up his throne." For just a second, Camilla's mask slipped. "You think I care about being queen," she said. Diana didn't blink. "I think you care about winning," she replied. "And you haven't won at all. You've convinced yourself his secrecy means devotion, but it's just compromise. You take the scraps he offers, while his public world still belongs to me." Diana reached forward and pushed open the door. Her eyes flicked to the bracelet on Camilla's arm. "Those cufflinks looked better on him, by the way. But I understand you have to settle for whatever you can hold." With that, Diana stepped back into the corridor, leaving Camilla motionless in the fading light of the powder room. And waiting there as if fate demanded it stood Charles. He lingered near the library, clutching a glass of champagne that trembled in his hand. His complexion was drained and papery. Whether he'd overheard the exchange or someone had quickly filled him in, one thing was clear: he understood. Diana walked past him, unhurried. Her heels struck the marble floor with unbreakable confidence. She slipped into a nearby conversation about charity, laughing easily, radiant and sociable, but beneath her polished exterior, her mind was turning with fresh resolve. An hour later, as she'd expected, Camilla appeared at her side. Some people just couldn't let things remain unfinished. Soon, they found themselves alone together in a narrow alcove near the conservatory, away from the party's buzz. Camilla's well-kept mask had fallen away, revealing raw anger. "You have not the slightest clue," Camilla seethed. "You think you understand Charles. You think you see what truly binds us. Child, you're just pretending, wearing a grown woman's crown like it's just a costume." Diana met her gaze. She said nothing, waiting calmly. Camilla pressed on, her voice trembling with anger. "He told me everything about you, every pathetic secret. Your wedding night? He said you wept so bitterly that he almost couldn't go through with it. Sharing a bed with you, he said, took away any bit of romance that moment might have had." Words like these once cut Diana to the core. For 8 years, barbs like this would have destroyed her. But now something had changed. Inside, she felt numb, detached, as if all of this was happening to someone else entirely. Camilla pressed on, her eyes bright and cold. "And those episodes, those attempts you thought you'd hidden, he told me everything. He told me everything. He called it manipulation, said you used your pain to control him. Diana listened as she was described as mentally unstable, not fit to be queen, not fit to raise his children. According to Camilla, Charles stayed only out of duty. He worried that leaving would ruin his reputation. There was no love left, no admiration, only cold obligation. Camilla's words spilled out in ragged breaths, years of bitterness finally unleashed. So don't stand there in your beautiful gown, holding your perfect title, lecturing me about settling. At least what Charles and I have is real. All you possess is a ring, a legal arrangement, and the children he required you to bear. That is all you have ever been to him, nothing more than a vessel in a tiara. The silence that followed was almost reverent, as if the air itself had frozen. Then, quietly, Diana smiled. It was a smile shaped by years of royal observation, polite yet sharp as a blade. "Thank you," she said softly. Camilla looked puzzled. "What?" "Thank you for revealing yourself so clearly." Vindictive, petty, frantic for scraps, Diana spoke in a measured, almost detached tone. "For months I tortured myself, wondering if I had misjudged you, wondering if there was some grand love story that justified all this pain. But there isn't. You're simply spiteful, and Charles is simply spineless." Diana watched as Camilla's expression twisted in response. "Yes, you're right, he tells you everything. Every intimate sorrow, every fearful confession, every secret from our marriage." Her voice grew sharp and icy. "And that, more than anything, shows exactly who both of you really are. A man who turns his wife's pain into entertainment for his lover deserves neither tears nor regret. And any woman who finds satisfaction in another woman's suffering is no rival at all, just pitiable." Camilla's hand rose, hesitating in the air as if she might strike. But Diana reached out gently and firmly, stopping her by the wrist. "Do not," Diana murmured. "You have already taken enough from me." She let go of Camilla, started to walk away, then paused at the threshold. When Charles puts on the crown and realizes that keeping a divorced mistress as queen consort would destroy the monarchy, his greatest devotion, he will let you go. Men like Charles will always protect the institution above everything else. When that day comes, remember this moment. Remember that I told you exactly what you meant to him, and you chose not to listen to my warning." The car ride home passed in heavy silence. The world blurred by outside the windows, while the steady hum of the motorway filled the darkness. Finally, Charles broke the silence. "Diana, you told the truth to Camilla, didn't you?" She replied, her voice steady but drained. "Every word." He tried again, this time more quietly. "You don't understand." "Oh, I understand perfectly," she replied, her eyes fixed on him. "Take a real look at yourself, Charles. You confided our most private moments, our wedding night, every hardship, all my pain to her. You shared my suffering, as if it were fodder for her amusement." Charles's knuckles turned white on the steering wheel. "That's not how it was," he protested. "Then what was it? Charles, go ahead, explain. Tell me how talking about the night you found me at my lowest was anything except cruel." Her voice trembled for a moment, but she pressed on, shaky yet determined. "How was sharing that memory anything but a betrayal?" He sat in silence, unable to find an answer. "You even let her wear my anniversary gift, the cufflinks I gave you, the ones engraved with our wedding date. They were supposed to be a promise for forever. You handed them to her, and she turned them into a bracelet. You didn't stop her." Diana's voice grew sharper, her pain breaking through. "You let her turn our marriage into a joke. You watched her ridicule me, and you took her side." The car swerved ever so slightly before Charles regained control, his breath shaky. "I never meant to hurt you," he whispered. Diana's voice slipped into a chilling calm. "Yes, you did. Maybe it wasn't deliberate. Maybe you told yourself you were just confiding in a friend, just venting. But don't lie to yourself, Charles. You knew exactly what you were doing. Each time you told her something, it was a kind of betrayal. You knew she would savor the details, and you knew how much it would hurt me if I ever found out. Yet you chose to do it anyway." The silence in the car grew heavier. Then Diana spoke, steady and unwavering. "I want a separation." Charles whipped his head toward her. "What are you saying?" "I want a formal separation." Charles whipped his head toward her. "What are you saying?" "I am finished with this marriage." "Diana, you can't. Think of William. Think of Harry. Think of the institution." She laughed, a short, sharp sound. "I am the only one who has cared for them, Charles. You have only ever thought of Camilla." He pleaded. "That's not fair." Diana's voice broke, raw with pain. "None of this has been fair. I was 19 years old. I believed you loved me, that we would shape a life together. I believed in fairy tales, but all the while you loved someone else." Charles jerked the car to the side of the road, bringing it to a shuddering halt. He turned to face her, and for the first time she saw tears welling up in his eyes. "I actually saw them. The tears were real, unhidden. Charles spoke, his voice breaking. "I wanted to love you. I truly tried, but I could never let her go." For once, honesty passed between them, raw and devastating. It was this truth that finally broke Diana. "Then release me," she whispered. "Let me leave. Let me be free." When they returned home, Diana went straight to Charles's study. She knew exactly where to look. Inside a locked drawer, neatly stacked, were hundreds of letters. These were the words exchanged between Charles and Camilla before Diana's wedding, during her honeymoon, and even after William was born. Not one moment of her marriage was free from Camilla's presence, whether in person or captured in written words. But even more painful were Charles's replies. He wrote, "Diana is so young. I'm not sure I know how to love her, Camilla. I'm not sure I ever will." As Diana sat among this damning evidence, proof that every milestone in her life was watched, analyzed, and shared with someone else, she felt something inside her change. It wasn't a breaking, it was a sharpening. At last, clarity. She picked up the phone and dialed first her private secretary, then her lawyer, and finally her press secretary. One by one, Diana gathered her trusted supporters. This wasn't about saving what was left, it was about ending this chapter, firmly and on her own terms. With care, she photographed each letter, capturing every word, before returning them exactly as she found them, undisturbed and unnoticeable. Charles would have no idea about her discovery, not until Diana decided it was time to reveal what she knew. The uncertain teenager who once believed in fairy tale endings was gone. In her place stood a woman who knew that true power isn't found in gold or jewels, it's found in honesty. Diana was finally ready to speak her truth. If you believe Diana deserved more, you're not alone. Join a growing community discovering her untold story by subscribing. Want to support Team Diana, or do you see things from Camilla's perspective? Share your thoughts in the comments below.